Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, depending on where you're catching up with us from. I hope that you have had a beautiful day. I hope that you are doing well. We are coming towards the end of the week, and I'm pleased to really be coming back with another live episode or episode. Should we call it an episode or just say a live stream? And as I was coming back from work today, I was talking with my son, and he literally left me thinking. He asked me a question that I couldn't possibly answer. I couldn't know the answer. And so I'm asking my YouTube community because I know you guys are clever, you're bright, you are amazing. If you can help me answer my son this question, that would be incredible. So, my son was talking about intelligent questions or IQ. And he asked me a question and I couldn't answer it as I say that. So I'm asking you guys if you are able to help me answer my 8-year-old, that would be amazing. He asked me if at all Isaac Newton was a bright and clever man that had a very high IQ. I said, of course he did, because he's one of the guys that we are told he invented the law of, or he's the one who discovered the law of gravity. What goes up always comes down. And then he asked me, do you know how this happened? He said to me, he just threw an apple up, the apple came down. And when it came back down, he thought, it does seem very interesting that what goes up always comes down. Is that really clever? Is that really smart? Is that a good idea? And I thought about it. I said to him, you know what? At least it's an innovation, because they say the best innovations actually happen by chance. The best innovations happen by fluke, as they say. But he wasn't very convinced. Then we started talking about that was the law until the Wright brothers came in. And when they came in, they discovered actually you can go against the law of gravity. And they're the ones who ended up inventing the aeroplane. And so I'm asking my YouTube community this question. My son has been asking me about Isaac Newton. Was he really a smart man by just discovering that you can throw an apple up and then the apple come down? And then what he basically said is what goes up comes back down. Is that really smart enough? If you think it's smart enough, put it in the chat. I can see some of you. If you think that just saying that something that goes up comes back down is smart enough, why not put it in the chat? And then we'll talk about what we wanted to talk about today. For those of you who are joining, I'm asking a question. I can see Xander Brown, which is a question that my son has asked me today. Emily Oliver, I can see you. My son asked me a question and I need some help from my YouTube community because I don't know the answer for that question. He asked me a question of how Isaac Newton, because he discovered the law of gravity, which just basically says what goes up comes down. Is that smart? Can you say that he was a very intelligent man? I tried to explain to him and I said he had some more laws that he ended up talking about it, trying to encourage us to say to us or explain with big English why what goes up must come down. And he said, but what about the Wright brothers? They invented the aeroplane. That means that they actually did something that went against the law of gravity. So that's my dilemma. I need to explain to my son if at all Isaac Newton was a really smart man. If you think he was, put it in the chat. Help this mama who's frustrated and kind of not really frustrated, but I need to go back to my 8-year-old boy and explain to him if actually Isaac Newton was a clever man. In school, Xander Brown says he remembers the Wright brothers. Yes, the Wright brothers actually disapproved the law that Isaac Newton came up with. So I tried to tell my son about the Wright brothers, but he wasn't convinced. His argument is, why are we crediting Isaac Newton to be a smart man if all he said, and actually he took an apple, throw it up, and it came back down, and then we are saying that this guy is very smart. Honestly, Any answers? Anybody who can help this mama, because I'm confused. I don't know. I usually tell my students the best innovation happens by chance, happens by fluke. But honestly, I don't know. Any smart people out there that can help me? And as you're still there thinking about it, I've got a glass of water today. This is a glass of water that I have. If you are able to answer me this question, how many of you think that this glass of water is half full? If you think it's half full, put it in the chat. And if you think it's half empty, put it in the chat as well. I want to do a little bit of interactions with you guys. So, those of you who are still there, if you're thinking that the glass is half full, let us know. And if you're thinking that the glass is half empty, let us know. I'm waiting for a little bit of response from you. So for those of you who are thinking this glass is half full, let me know in the chat. And those of you who are thinking the glass, because obviously it doesn't have a full amount of water. So if you're thinking that my glass is half full, yeah, Xander Brown says is half full. Anybody else who thinks otherwise? Anybody who thinks like, well, it's half empty rather than half full? And I'll try to open the window a little bit. Anybody who thinks is half empty? So I got a glass of water here as a saying. Is it half full? Is it half empty? Any more answers? Or if you don't know, then say you don't know as well. That will be really helpful. So we go with Xander anyway, who has said it's half full. Xander, why do you think it's half full and not half empty? Why is my glass of water, which I'll bring back again, why is it half full rather than half empty, Xander? He's disappeared. I've made him go away. Well, it all depends on categories of people, which I was thinking about earlier on today. There are those who will think it's half full, and there are those who will think it's half empty. And all of them will be right. There's no right or wrong answer. If you're thinking it's half full, you're correct because obviously it's half full. And if you're thinking it's half empty, is also the correct answer because obviously, if I bring it back up, my glass is not fully full because the top is the same as the bottom of the cup. Correct. It's basically half. The top of it is half and the top of it is empty and half of it is well. The answer lies in one thing, the perception or perspective of how we see things. If you're a positive person, generally, like Xander, you'll say it's half full because in your mind you're thinking like it's half of it is empty, half of it is full, but you're choosing to say it's half full. If you're a negative person, you'll think about it and you'll say it's half empty because it's only half of it does not have a content. And I was thinking about this with respect to when it comes to things like wellness, right? Have you ever seen a person that all that they see in life is the negative? It doesn't work. It doesn't do this. It's not working. It's not this. I can sometimes be that person. I can be sometimes grumpy rabbit, that I can always see the negative. No, the other day on Sunday, I literally wore a wig to church and my son was not very impressed because he's like, why are you wearing a wig? Why are you not happy with your hair? Just because my hair hasn't been done in a while. And I was thinking about it and I was feeling frustrated. I thought, we're just going to wig it up. And there is nothing wrong if you wear a wig. It's amazing. But because he was saying to me, Mommy, why are you not seeing the beauty that God has given you in your locks? My hair is locked, right? That you are deciding to cover it up just because you are feeling that you've not done your hair. And that made me actually think he must be seeing something beyond what I'm saying that is making him be that kind of a positive person to think of my hair and say, you know what, your hair is still amazing. So whether it's been done or it hasn't been done, it doesn't matter. But I was so fully like very much fixated on the fact that, oh, well, I didn't do my hair, and so I've got to cover it up. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do the other thing. And I was thinking about this in the perspective of basically life. There are some of us that we are taught to always be focused on, I must get this done and dusted. If I don't get 100%, I cannot celebrate 99%. If I don't get a full grade of whatever I want to do, I cannot celebrate the small wins, which made me think of this evening, just to ask us, like, are we those kind of people that we are waiting for the full manifestation before we can be able to celebrate? As I said, sometimes I'm that pessimist. I'm seeing the half full, no, half full rather than no, half empty rather than half full glass. That I'm thinking, oh my world, by now the effort I'm putting in, I should have lost this amount of weight, but hey, I can wear my dresses, right? I can be able to fit in my t-shirt that I worn when I went to run over 2 years ago. I did like one competitive running. That was my first and the last that I haven't really got to do it again, and I'm planning for it next year. And I could fit in the other day when I was going to run. When I tried, I was like, wow, that was a medium. And I was able to fit in the medium, which means the things that I'm doing every single day seem to be working out. But because I'm fixated on the scale moving, I'm fixated on it's no moving, I'm not sitting back to celebrate the little wins. And Xander is saying, so on all my report card, I got 100. Amazing, right? We are all asked most of the time to celebrate those 100. When for example people are running a marathon or a race or anything, we celebrate the person who comes first. We celebrate those people who come first, and there's a place for that. But there is also a place for those small wins, celebrating when the scale doesn't move. Because you know what, if you are carrying fat on you, you may on a day-to-day basis be losing fat. You may be losing like really a tiny amount of fat every single day. It may really look so tiny that you can't really, it's not going to look like a big thing like this to say, oh, I've lost a huge amount of fat. I mean, that's an illustration. But it could be shifting every single moment you exercise, you eat healthy, you drink your water, you do what you need to do. There may be those tiny shifts that you're not really seeing, but because you're fixated on the big picture, you miss those small moments of celebrating those small victories. You may be looking at the day when you lose 10 kilos, then you go celebrating because you've lost 10 kilos, but it's 500 grams a week, which is the recommended weight loss per week. Some of us are looking into, until I get 10,000 steps every single day, then I will celebrate. But you can actually celebrate the fact that you can walk two steps, right? Because there'll be someone today that cannot be able to walk. There will be someone today that cannot be able to do the things that you can do, but because you are able to do it, it should be something that you should be able to celebrate. When you wake up in the morning, Xander, I've seen your message, I'll come back to it in a minute. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Do you wake up and take your phone and look at the app, the weather app? Today is going to be gloomy, so because of that, I'm going to have a bad day. Or do you look outside and you see, like now where I am at the moment, you might see from the quality of the recording, it's very gloomy, it's very cloudy. I can choose to see the cloud and to see the gloom and to think, you know what, it's not going to be a good day. But if you're really trained yourself to celebrate the small wins, which is what I'm talking about today, it will give you opportunity to see and to say, I've got my vegetables in my backyard that actually need the rain to be able to continue to grow. And that means I'm not going to be watering them. And that means I've been saved of some extra labor. So as you're thinking about like maybe you are desiring to lose weight and you're not seeing those shifts in the scale. Maybe use other measures to encourage you. Are you fitting? I said I can fit in a dress today, which I wouldn't fit in sometimes back, right? I can be able to fit into places and spaces where I can be able to enjoy, for example, some of the things that I couldn't enjoy before. You can measure your waist circumference. Take a tape measure and just measure around your waist. That will tell you if you're losing some inches or not, right? You can think of like, am I fitting a little bit better in that t-shirt? Am I able to run a little bit faster? I only try 5 kilometers every single day. And so trying to think, the time that I'm doing now, my 5 kilometers is about 40 minutes. So if I run a little bit faster tomorrow and get it to 37, it's enough to start celebrating. And I'm not saying that when you celebrate, you forget about putting in more effort. I'm not saying that we celebrate, that we forget that there is more to it, that we get to a point where we get fixated on the celebration. There are people that will celebrate everything. I remember a friend of my husband used to say to him, we just bought a new car, we're going to celebrate. There's nothing wrong with that, but there are some places where you get to a point where you start getting fixated on the victory that you forget, as I say, those small, tiny shifts that can make a whole difference. And so just encouraging you and charging you and me to say, hey, lady, hey, brother, hey, sister, learn to celebrate those small victories as you're waiting for the big breakthrough moments. It may be for some of us, the celebration can just be the fact that we are alive, right? When I was younger, my sister had some post-it note on her bed which used to say, I may not be good looking, I may not be smart, I may not be beautiful, but hey, I'm available. That's the way of celebrating the fact that she's alive, the fact that she's awake. Xander, I come back to you. Are you going to be alive on YouTube tomorrow? I don't know. Right? It all depends. Tomorrow I have a day off. I'm not working tomorrow. So it all depends on how I wake up in the morning, because and also what I don't just want to do YouTube for the sake of doing it. I want to do it when I feel like I've got something that I want to bring to you guys. And so we will see how tomorrow looks like. But thank you so much for that question. So back into what I was talking about, I'm trying to find a better position where I can be a little bit more seen better, but also it's very hot here. So just to charge you to say, don't wait for big victories to celebrate. Don't wait for England to win the World Cup before you can celebrate the fact that they scored yesterday in this tournament, right? Don't wait for a big breakthrough moment for you to celebrate, when you can actually start with those small shifts that will make you a thankful person, and a person who celebrates small victories attracts more of what you celebrate, you attract more of it, right? If you constantly celebrate the victories, the small, tiny shifts, as I said, it could be a dress that is fitting better, it could be food on your table, it could be being able to celebrate that will help you attract what you are seeking for. When you're seeking for weight loss, you start to see those shifts that eventually will result in a big, massive change in your body weight. So that was just an encouragement for you guys. I hope that you know you're loved, celebrated, and appreciated. Have an amazing evening. God bless. Catch up with you again, Xander, tomorrow if I go on YouTube. But if not, those who are dipping in and dipping out, if you want to let us know where you're watching us from, Xander, if you're still on live right now with us, where are you catching up with us tonight? I can see a few more of you as well. Where are you catching up with us tonight? But if not, I'll leave you guys. I'll disappear. I go and do other things that I need to do for the rest of the day. So thank you so much for catching up with us. If you want to leave, share, comment, or subscribe on this channel, that will go a long way in supporting what you do. I've got to go. Have a great evening. Catch up again with you pretty much soon.